This is a quick video on how to solder cable ends. So if you're a musician and you want to, solder cables so that you can put your sound pedals together like this. This is a quick video on how to do that. So you get yourself some basic coaxial cable here, and you measure the length you want. Now, I've got a length that's about this big here, so that should be sufficient for the cable. And you cut the cable to the appropriate length, like so. And now you have your cable length, like this. And the next step is to splice, to actually cut the cable here so you can get access to the wires inside. So there's two wires. There's a center wire, and then there's a wire that goes basically around that center wire. Right, and that's the ground wire. So I splice about this much of the wire off, like so, and I just run that along my finger. So if you're good, you turn it as you press down as you're turning it, and hopefully you don't cut your finger, right? Then you pull it apart like that, and you've got the cable. And you've got the end here. So now you take this paper off here. It's just to protect the cable here, and you grab all the wires that are part of that cable, like so. And then you twist the wires on the end. Just get them out of the way. Now you've got to bare the center wire. So this is a bit trickier. If you got yourself a splicer, it's much easier. But I'm doing it with my hand here, so I'm just going to do this. So if I cut my finger off, at least it'll be on video. That's one half. I always go to the other side here and do the other side here. This is old school. How to splice a wire, old school. And I get the wire almost bare right now. There it is there. The wire's right on the center there. It's pretty hard to see with the background. I guess if I go like this, you can see it. So the wire's like that. Then I twist that wire as well. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. If you look at that carefully here, I'll try to get a little bit of a white background here, or my hand. You'll see the wires are pointing up on this side, and down on this side, and up on this side, and down on this side. And that's so when they fit into the plug that they will be able to fit in the right place. Now I'll take the plug apart, like so, and take this apart. And usually you have to feed that onto the wire in the same order, but I can push it in through the back. So for the first cable here I have, so I'll put this cable in like this, like that. And then the end part here, I have to feed through the hole, like so, and then bend it. So I feed it through the hole and I bend it. And I get out the soldering iron. And this is a self-heating soldering iron, electric soldering iron, which is pretty good. And I turn it on. And you got to heat up, when you're soldering, you got to heat up the metal around where you're trying to solder, and then you touch the solder on the surface beside the wire, and then the wire, and it works fine. Get to heat up for a second here. There we go. Put some solder in there. Let it go. So that's the top one soldered. And then I do the bottom one as well. And all you do for that is you have to put the soldering iron in the bottom part. Again, give it a little bit of pressure. And then you're able to solder the wire to the bottom. Now that I have the wire soldered on, I just have to crimp the ends here. Like this, on this side, this on this side. And then I'll take the sheath that goes over, and that just protects it from external damage. So it's just good electronics This is not bad for an electrical engineer doing this stuff. That's because when I played in a band years ago, I used to do all the cables for the whole friggin' band because everybody else was busy picking up chicks while I was doing cables. So there you go, good old JD, as usual, doing all the work. And you just put that on like that. So that's soldered on. And I repeat the same process on the other side. And that's how you make a cable. And at the end of it, it looks like this. And you use a continuity tester, like this meter here. And you touch the tops on both sides. Touch the tops on both sides. And you touch this part on both sides. And then you touch the top and a side on both sides. And if it makes a noise, you're in trouble. If the tops make a noise, that means you've got continuity between that. And you've got continuity if the sides make a noise as well. So you got to use the continuity tester to make sure your soldering is good and everything's fine. That's my little video on how